Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. In today's video, I wanted to talk to Pisces about basically the horoscope for 2026. Now, this video does not replace a one-on-one meeting with an astrologer to discuss your personal planetary cycles, but at least it'll give you an idea about what you guys are going to be facing in 2026. Now, if your rising sign is from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces, then you might have to listen to Pisces and Aries because maybe the houses that I talk about won't coincide with your natal chart. But you can use a combination of both, and then you get the whole picture. All right, so let's start. Pisces rising. So Pisces, let's start with Uranus in your fourth house. Now, anytime we have planets on the angles of the chart, and the angles are 1, 4, 7, and 10, then these are difficult transits. Why? Because this is a square to your rising sign, and then this is an opposition. And you guys have to remember that the lunar nodes are specifically North Node is here, South Node is in Virgo for you guys for the first half of the year. Now, for Pisces, Uranus down here in the fourth house is going to transit from 0 to 5 degrees. So the fourth house is your parents, your family, but it's also the physical structure, whether it's a house or an apartment, wherever you live, it's the physical structure of your home. Wherever Uranus transits, it brings changes. And sometimes the changes come all of a sudden, unexpectedly. Now, you may be moving residences over the next 7 years because Uranus is going to stay in Gemini for 7 years. So obviously, it's not going to happen day one when it goes back to Gemini, but over the next 7 years, you will be moving. If you don't move, then maybe you are going to redecorate, remodel your home or your apartment. Um, People may be moving in or people may be moving out. Maybe, one of your kids goes to college. So there's movement, there's change in the fourth house. Um, there can also be changes with your parents as well, because the axis of the fourth and the 10th house deals with parents. Um, so your parents can come and live with you as well. Because let me see, Pisces. Here we go. Now, you have Uranus here. So the fourth house naturally is ruled by Cancer. For you is Gemini. But if Uranus is aspecting your natal moon, um, your emotions are going to be all over the place. There's going to be highs and lows, and you're going to get angry, go off the cuff, things like that. Um, I mean, not having to do with your parents, mind you, just like overall. The emotional swings are going to be quite interesting. If this Uranus aspects Mercury in your natal chart, then be careful with car accidents, or there can be car repairs, especially close to home, to the fourth house. Now, if Uranus is aspecting Mars, then this talks about accidents in the home. So if your natal Mars is in Gemini, be careful, make sure that all the cables for the computers, for the TVs, for whatever are all picked up, so that you don't slip and fall. Make sure that and go slow, just don't be racing around the house, okay? Because Uranus usually likes to speed things up. Now, your um fifth house, Cancer. The fifth house is going to be well aspected because Jupiter is going to be in Cancer from January 1st through June 30th. And it's going to transit from 15 to 29 degrees. So this means that you should be socializing, having fun, playing amateur sports with your friends. All of these things are favored. Jupiter expands these themes, so hopefully this will be a time when you can just enjoy yourself, right? Now, fifth house is also romance. So if you're single and looking, you can potentially meet a boyfriend, girlfriend material. So make sure that you're always, well dressed, makeup is on, the cologne or perfume, you know, you got to look your best to be able to attract these things. Now, Jupiter can not only bring you a romance, it can also bring you a baby because fifth house is your firstborn. So there is a very good chance for you to get pregnant during this transit up until June 30th. If you do not want to get pregnant, then be extra, extra careful because Jupiter is the significator of children. And also, since fifth house rules children, this could be a very fortunate time for your children, especially your firstborn. So then on July 1st, 2026, Jupiter moves to Leo, which is your sixth house. And then this is also a very good transit for your health and work. So your job, your, working conditions can improve significantly. Um, also, even though it's like the house of health, right? And you may be focusing on eating healthy, don't overeat healthy food because then it's defeating the purpose, right? Since it's the sixth house, Jupiter can also bring you a new pet because Jupiter is the planet of opportunities, but you need to act on those opportunities. So interactions with coworkers are also very favored. You guys in the office should be able to get along really, really well. You could take up a new healthy lifestyle, when it comes to eating, when it comes to exercising in moderation because Jupiter expands and likes to maybe overdo it sometimes. Also, always check with your primary care physician so that they can give you the ideal program for both, for your diet and your exercise. Then on February 15th, Saturn goes back into to Aries. It leaves Pisces for the next, 28, 30 years. You won't have Saturn on you, which it has been a difficult transit for you. Anytime that Saturn is in your first house, it brings a lot of lessons. It can bring health challenges, but now on February 15th is going to move to Aries, which is your second house, and it will transit from 0 to 14 degrees. So Saturn in Aries, like I said, is in your second house. So it's a time where you need to be super, super, super practical and realistic about your money, about your budget, what you earn, and especially what you spend it on. The same thing, second house also goes for stuff that we eat, food intake. So you need to be very mindful. It's a great time actually to go on a diet. That's one of the remedies for having Saturn in your second because money is going to be super, super tight. I hate to tell you this, but that's what it is. The other remedy that can be is to have a black leather wallet and put a currency, old currency that is not in circulation in the wallet to try to absorb some of that Saturnian energy that, hopefully will give you a little bit more flexibility with your money. But going on a diet is also another remedy for this. So basically, Saturn in the second, you're going to confront your biggest fears for the next 2 years, and it won't leave until April of 2028. So I mentioned the degrees because the ones that are going to be affected in 2026 are from 0 to 14 degrees, maybe up to 17 degrees, plus or minus 3 degrees, right? Um, so this is, it's going to be a challenging time when where money is concerned. Now, if this Saturn is making favorable aspects to your natal chart, then your income can be improved. So again, it depends on how this transit is going to be affecting your natal chart. Now, Neptune is also going to be in Aries in your second house. Now, Neptune is going back into Aries on January 27th, 2026. So it's going to transit the first from 0 to 4 degrees of Aries. And Neptune is going to stay in Aries for the next 14 years. So this is going to affect the second house again. It has to deal with money. You can start earning money from Neptunian endeavors, spiritual work, photography, yoga, um, work that's artistic, painting, dancing, especially ballet, because Pisces rules ballet. Second house rules money, so not a good idea to lend money at this time because you will not get it back. There can be deception, lies. Someone can steal from you. Same thing goes for your assets because second house is what we value, our possessions, jewelry, expensive things that you own. So you need to be careful that, you're like you don't get burglarized, you know. Um, Neptune dissolves everything it touches, so you need to be very, very frugal with your money. It can also speak about losing a job because Neptune is what we don't have. Now, lastly, Pluto. Pluto is in your 12th house, all right, in Aquarius. And it is going to transit from 2 to 5 degrees of Aquarius. And it's going to stay there for the next 19 years. So this one is a big one. You can go on a mission to transform your deep-seated fears, transform your phobias, seek a therapist to address like subconscious issues or mental illness as well. Be careful with any self-destructive behaviors or tendencies, um, limiting thoughts, second guessing yourself. Um, Now, if this transit of Pluto is badly aspected in your natal chart, then your thoughts can be really, really dark. So just be mindful of that and, try to keep a positive spin on things because there's always a solution to everything. Remember that Pluto is total destruction, but then the phoenix rises. So you will come out of this if this is, like I said, if Pluto is not well aspected in your natal chart. So Pisces, this is all I have for you for 2026. I wish you the best. I hope that um, things are positive for you, but money is going to be an issue. So please be very frugal in what you spend it on. If you have found this information helpful, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and send it to somebody else that it may benefit. As always, if you would like a chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next